make me emotional because there's so much going on in our world right now and with our state. But I feel like roots from my feet connected to not just California, to just Hollywood. Like, I feel it's as crazy as this area is that you're in right now.
Everything's going crazy.
But I feel like it's my home.
Great.
It's my home, and I love where I grew up. But listen, California is the place of literal dreams of Mike Ovitz. Mike Ovitz literally went to UCLA and started as like the third coffee boy at William Morris. Now, he's out of the business now, but he is one of the cruxes that changed and created the structure of our business. And anyone who's at the top of the mountain, I say, always started at the bottom. Yeah. And it actually can happen. Right. And I'm proof of it. You know what I'm saying? You're proof of it. And there's levels of how high you go on this mountain. And it makes me so sad because it's just so different now, but California has a magnetic pull on those which belong here. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, it feels like a magical place. It feels like it's gotten, in some ways, a little more grimy, But
yes. Yeah. It's sad.
It's sad, and it is a place of dreams, but it's also a place of dashed dreams. But, they do say, and some famous actor said it recently, the only way you fail in Hollywood is when you quit. And you just don't, 100%. You just can't, you just don't quit no matter what. Because I'm sure you've had this experience, but my career has been like this.
My career's been like this. No.
But you never know what corner your next job
listen, I've had
is. Wasn't that.
No. But I want to say this is that two things. We went all over. Harrison Ford said that.
Yeah.
He was later in life. He
was a contractor.
Yeah, contractor.
With his brother.
Great looking guy. You know what I mean? Did one thing really well. That's it. He's not doing voice. He's not doing character. Just one thing really well. Is his presence and the way he can. He's a naturalistic actor, and he was like 30. He was like mid 30s.
Yeah.
And he said the reason why I made it was because I just stayed in the game.
He just stayed.
Yeah.
He did his contracting and then waited.
100%.
Yeah, I mean.
And self-medicated.
He did? He self-medicated?
Well, he's a big weed head, I thought.
Oh, is he?
Barbara.
I'm an innocent.
Barbara. I don't know if she's acting right now. You don't want to get canceled every second. You're worse than I am. Listen, or you did. Harrison Ford's known. He's like up there with Snoop as being the biggest toker in the game.
Oh, good for him.
You never knew that?
I don't know. I just didn't pay attention to it. If I heard it, I was like, oh, whatever.
He was high during Star Wars.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, when I
Jack Nicholson
when I
smokes
did
weed.
Reanimator, I was on cocaine a lot of the time. But that was only because we worked 18-hour days a lot and we couldn't stay up. And it was kind of the height of cocaine anyway. I didn't do it every day, but we did it a bunch of days.
Wait a minute. Tell me about this. So was this a low-budget movie? Like,
yeah, it was. I mean, low budget for the time.
So
I think it was like $700,000, but that was 40 years ago. We're in the 40th year of Re-Animator, so I saw you at the convention, and we're celebrating the 40th year, and so I'm going to do that all year. But how much was $700,000 worth?
Probably at least $4 or $5 million. No,
yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's a little high, but
so wait,
somewhere.
Was it an independent movie?
It was an independent movie. Brian Usna financed it himself. He was the producer, and then Charlie Band, who had Empire Pictures at the time, was the distributor. But they already had the distributor while we were making the movie, so they knew that they were going to distribute it. But I think things worked differently then. It's not like they didn't. Charlie Band didn't buy the movie and say, "Okay, I'm giving you the money up front, and I'm taking the movie, and I'm going to put it out on my platform." Or
where did you shoot it at?
In LA.
That's what I love. Probably in the Valley.
We shot like somewhere
God,
up
so
Beechwood
awesome.
Canyon was the house that I lived in with my the guy who played my boyfriend.
You shot it at your house.
No. No, in Beechwood Canyon there was a location house.
A location house.
And I don't remember exactly where it is, but Jeffrey Combs, who played the Mad Doctor in Re-Animator, he says, I know where that house is. I could drive you there. And I'm like, well, where is it? Let's drive there. Let's go see it. But we haven't done that yet.
What is the movie about?
Re-Animator?
You know, there's 2 movies I know you from. I know you from a lot, and also soap work. But one.
You didn't watch the soaps, did you? No.
No, but I know
just know that
soaps. I have a
wasn't-
lot of history with soaps and
Okay.
people, and I know I think soaps are funny, but
They were fun.
you also did Chopping Mall,
I did Chopping.
And-
I can't shake that movie.
which is
Jamie, I can't
crazy
shake
because
that
it like
movie.
gives me PTSD. The fucking ad for it. I remember it on TV seeing it and like Chopping Mall. Like it's so graphic.
They broke into the mall for the wildest all-night party of their lives.
It's dead meat.
But you're never alone in the chopping mall.
What's that? Robot blood.
Chopping mall, where shopping costs you an arm and a leg.
Shopping costs you an arm and a leg.
Yes, but you do Re-Animator, and what is it about? I've never seen it, and that's not a disrespect. I apologize.
That's fine. It's about
I know it's a classic.
this guy who has developed this serum to bring the dead back to life, basically, in a nutshell. And he had worked with somebody named Hans Gruber in Germany, and then had come over to America and was going to medical school, and he involved my
Hans Gruber.
Yeah, Hans Gruber. It was Hans Gruber.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know.
How are they connected?
I don't know.
Wow.
But
Has anyone talk about that?
I don't hear anybody talking about it, so I wonder why. I don't know. Hans Gruber.
Hans Gruber
Yeah.
from Die Hard
Yeah.
was the doctor's name.
Well, he was the doctor back in Germany. And then I believe he passed away in our movie. His eyeballs came out and whatever. So Jeffrey Combs' character, have you met him on the
Who's
show
Jeffrey
before?
Combs?
He plays the mad scientist
Okay.
in Re-Animator. So the actor who I was sitting next to when we were at CreepyCon last week, he is Crawford. No, that's not his name. No, that's another movie I did with him. But he comes to the medical school, and he's trying to get my boyfriend to be in cahoots with him to use the medical program there at the school. And a cat dies, and then he brings that back to life, and then somehow my father gets injured, and then they kill him, and then they bring him back to life, and then it gets to be craziness. And then by the end of the movie, I die, and they're wanting to bring me back to life. But yeah,
It is such a classic. People go crazy for this movie.
Yeah.
And your lines are like crazy. Like people love you in this movie, and I know how
they like
much
the movie. Yeah, they like everybody.
I
in the movie.
feel like it had such a mark on pop culture.
Yeah.
The thing is that there was never a sequel.
What?
Was there a sequel?
Yeah, there was this number 2 and a number 3.
Okay.
Bride of Re-Animator, and then the third one, I don't remember what that was called, but I wasn't in those two.
Why?
Stuart Gordon, who directed the first one, and to great success and acclaim.
Is he related to Keith Gordon at all or no?
No.
Okay.
No. So his agent told him that he shouldn't direct sequels. So they wanted him to direct the sequel. And his agent said, no, this was dumb. 40 years ago, I mean, you wouldn't say that now. but 40 years ago, that's what they said. So then the producer, well, actually there was Peter Jackson for a minute was maybe going to direct it. He was new in his career, but he didn't end up directing it. So the producer, Brian Usna, ended up directing it, but he just thought, so he said to Stewart, he goes, okay, I'll just direct it then. And they had the money, and they were going to go ahead and do it, and they were going to start in a number of weeks. And then Stewart said, well, what script are you going to use? Because he had written this follow-up script for Bride of Reanimator. I was supposed to be the bride that was resurrected.
Yeah.
But that didn't happen because Stewart said to Brian, what script are you going to use? And Brian said, well, I'll just use yours. And he said, no, you have to write your own script. You can't have my script.
Wow. So wait, so you do the movie and it made a lot of money.
Made a lot of money.
It came out. Did it make a lot of money out of the get-go, or did it become a slow burn and become a hit?
It made a lot of money out of the get-go, and then it continued to make money, and it continues. It's the gift that keeps on giving for Brian Usna because he owns the movie outright.
Brilliant.
Well, what I was going to say was, then Brian decided he was going to, he's had to write the script. So he changed it a little bit. And I guess it wasn't the same story. So my part had been like this in the Stuart Gordon version. And then in the Brian Usna version, it was like this.
So you're like, I'm not doing it.
So I didn't do it.
No, it's not wrong.
And then they had another gal kind of play my part. But then I think they cut it out. But my girlfriend, Kathleen Kinmont, was the bride. So it was like it was a different scenario altogether. It had to be a new bride, a new person.
Mm-hmm.
And so they hired Kathleen, who was in Fraternity Vacation with me.
Wow.
So she was my friend. So I knew her. And I mean, that movie did pretty well too. And then the third one, I forgot what it's even called. I don't know.